How many times have you downhill that road?
Probably about 100 times, I would say, maybe a little bit more, because I often do it in training. I live close by in Monaco, so it's not too far. And yeah, I always love to go back to check when I have an easier day, a long endurance ride. So yeah, I did.
And then you see that Tadej Pogačar is doing Tour of Flanders again. How do you react? How did you react when you saw that?
I think it's good for the sport. Obviously, that means I end up one place further down the ranks. But yeah, I think it's good for the sport. I think it's very welcoming that the best rider in the world shows up at the biggest races, and yeah, I think he aims to win it for the second time. But we'll see how it goes.
It's a bit joking, I suppose, but or is it like if he participates, it's one place further down?
No, in cycling anything can happen, especially in one-day racing. It's unforgiving. If you make a mistake, you're not coming back, even if you are today. So yeah, still you need to start the climbs in front, and if you mess up, you don't make the selection, it's going to be really, really hard. But yeah, he's likely to do well, but not guaranteed.
Your specialty? Downhill?
Yeah. Not a lot of downhill in Flanders and Roubaix, but no. Yeah.
But in general?
Yeah, in general, yes. Sanremo still remains a big goal for me, although Philipsen and Matej Mohoric are quite a good pair. Very hard to beat there. But yeah, we'll see. Many things can happen in bike racing, and I will look for my opportunities, trying to make the most of them when they come along.
But you're well known also because of your downhill skills. But it also happens that you crash sometimes in downhills. How do you come back after, bad luck moments like these?
I think those moments are what defines you. I think you should never give in. At the end, if you don't risk, there is no reward, and comebacks are make a part of what we do, of our job, and you need to give your best to rehab as soon as you can, and then get back to winning this.
Describe how a comeback period looks like. So you crashed, you got an injury, and who helps you besides like the doctor?
I mean, there's a big team of staff helping us to do anything, especially with rehab. Depending on the type of injury you have, there's a lot of rehab, a lot of physio work, a lot of patience. Then when you are closer to the actual ability to go back training, you do a lot of core strength mobility sessions to give back the strength to the muscle that was damaged, and finally long hours of hard training to get back to race shape.
Yeah, and how important is such a team that backs you whatever happens?
I think the team is crucial. I think the staff is what you don't see in the television on the day that we actually perform, but they are a big part of our success, and to have the best support around you is probably the most crucial part of cycling.
Have you ever had a moment that you thought like maybe this is enough?
Yeah, sometimes. I'm not getting any younger, and sometimes there are hard moments, especially because at one point you realize that you only have one body, and one day you're going to be 60 years old. So it is what it is, but I love my job. It's my big passion. I think I would keep doing it even when I stop racing. So I might as well make the most of it while I still have a chance to be professional.
What's still on your bucket list?
I think what I wish for the most is a good result in Flanders and Roubaix.
Why?
I don't know. Ever since Sony won Roubaix, that race holds a special charm for me. And also Flanders, I think for me it's one of the biggest events in cycling. So special also in Belgium. And I always had bad luck there. I don't think I ever finished inside top 10. So I sure hope to change that in the future. And I think these races with such long history are really something special and something maybe we don't see in other sports as well.
So some unfinished business on the cobbles and the hills. What is your toughest moment on the bike?
My toughest moment on the bike, probably somewhere in a gruppetto on the Tour de France when you are like unwell and fatigued and tired. I had 2 Tour de Frances that I was pretty down, pretty fatigued in 2022 and last year also. And this can be really hard to do such a long and grueling event. And hoping that next day will be better, but the next day feeling better never comes.
You would expect that the toughest moments are riding solo in front of a race about winning or not the race, but it is far behind.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you're in front, adrenaline folds you up, and it's only when you are behind, you are really down and possibly also behind because you are super fatigued and tired. So yeah, that's way tougher.
What days come now up in your mind?
There were quite a few. I think many more than the days I won. Last year, I don't know. Last year, the last stage in Nice was pretty tough for me. 1 year I remember we did 𝗗else𝗹𝗶𝗁. I was also pretty tired and really fatigued, but then the next day I actually won the stage. So cycling has a lot of ups and downs. Yeah,
it's funny, like most cyclists like to forget their tough moments on bikes. Is it like a way to cope with it?
I think it's in life in general, we always tend to forget the hard moments and the bad moments, and we always remember the good things. I think it's also what you should focus on. I think the good days are, after all, what you remember when you are older. And I think it's the moments that define our lives.
And like everybody who talks about Matej Mohoric also talks about the interview you did a few years ago in the Tour de France. Now, I think 2 years ago, later, do you get reminded a lot still about it?
Sometimes, yes. I think it touched hearts of many fans of cycling and also many of my colleagues. So I'm proud that I was able to put the emotions I felt at that moment into words, because it's quite difficult. But I think I was quite full of emotions that day.
For last questions, what is your most favorite downhill?
The one off the Poggio, for sure.
How many times have you downhill that road?
Probably about 100 times, I would say, maybe a little bit more, because I often do it in training. I live close by in Monaco, so it's not too far. And I always love to go back to check when I have an easier day, a long endurance ride. So I did.
But on training, you have to be careful of the cars coming up.
Yeah, of course. I never go as fast as I go in the race, but still you can check the road surface if there's anything new or different. And I think when you are super familiar with a descent, you can go much faster.
They say that it's maybe too dangerous nowadays because everybody goes full on the limit after 300 kilometers. Does it still have a place in cycling?
Yeah, I think so. It has big tradition and a long history, and I think it's one of the most beautiful riders.